When we go to our local salon to get our hair coloured, or even if we do it at home ourselves with a box dye, we don't need to worry, we know we're safe. However, this wasn't the case not that long ago. Hair dye had been used since ancient times, but the Victorians made use of the new chemicals in the cutting-edge art of photography. I'm going to recreate an original Victorian recipe with pharmaceutical scientist Neil Grazier. I can imagine that a lot of the formulas must have been quite lethal. I know that the latest thing was silver nitrate hair dye. And we know this from developing photographs because people that used to be in the darkroom would have marks all over their skin.
Yes, and this particular hair dye would have used silver. The two-part process first required wetting the hair in gallic acid. The hair was allowed to dry. It was then sponged on with this silver ammonia solution, and only at that point would you start getting that black colour developing.
What's the subtlety that you can achieve, do you think, of colour here?
Not much, it's basically black or black.
That level of black, there was lots of men that dyed their beards and they looked quite scary with that black hair and, you know, black beards. It was quite intense, what I'd call Lego head now. So let's get on with our Lego head dye. So Neil, the gallic acid has dried into the hair now and it's quite dark already. It's darkened it.
There is a possibility that the gallic acid has reacted with a little bit of iron that might be present in the hair. So
this might be enough for some people. If you didn't want to go the whole hog,
that might well be the case. I mean, it's certainly more benign, so...
No, let's not be benign. Let's go in with the silver nitrate.
OK.
In 1861, apparently, there was a travelling photographer. So he used to go around taking family portraits and things. And then in the evening, he had a little sideline. He'd use the leftover chemicals to dye beards and moustaches and hair.
That sounds incredibly entrepreneurial.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. He does say as well, though, that if the dye stained the skin, that he would then use cyanide to remove it. Which, as a chemist, I'm sure you must be horrified
I'd be a little bit worried about anybody using cyanide. That just sounds quite horrific. Now, we've got the silver nitrate on there.
OK.
And what we're probably best doing is putting this under a really strong light.
Yeah, so ideally bright sunlight would have helped this develop. We don't have that here.
A flash would be really good to do that. So phones would be...
Phone? Yeah, phones.
Phones would be good.
Get my phone.
OK, so...
This is a random thing to do. I've got some very interesting pictures. OK, let's have a look. Well, I would say that's definitely worked. It's definitely dyed the hair, and it's better. It's more natural than I thought it was going to be. It's not as black, and it's not as matte. And if you were grey and wanted to dye your hair, I think that's a really good result. When you think of how the hair was before...
If we compare the
before and after, I mean, it's like night and day.
I think I could be quite pleased with that for my grey, but I wouldn't be trying it anytime soon.
Once again, we've proved the Victorians were masters of innovation and secret cosmetic enhancement.